favorite song that when you hear it, it just puts you in a good mood. Thank you. I'm going to hand you my man card right now and admit that my song is Crazy in Love by Beyonce and Jay-Z. When that song comes on, my heart just starts pumping. It's good. So I know that about myself. So I choose to be a positive person, but sometimes in life, things happen and you can't always remain as positive as you like to. So I'm sitting in Chicago airport. I've missed my connection once, twice, 3 times. I'm not going to make it to where I need to be, and it's going to be a bad day. But no, I choose to be a positive human being. I'm going to get some Beyonce on, and my day is going to improve. So I take out my laptop, I pop it open, I put in my earbuds up at the mirror, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better, right? But then there's this lady sitting over beside me, and she kind of is giving me the look, like, and she doesn't know what I'm listening to. Like, it could be Metallica or something, right? There's no need to judge. And I ignore her, and then I get like a stronger look, like, and so I take my earbud out and I'm like, is everything okay? And she's like, did you know your headphone jack isn't plugged all the way into your laptop? And I look down, sure enough, it's only halfway in, so my volume blaring to the entire area and my earbuds. And so I closed my laptop and took out my most manly novel and tried to resume base. So choosing to be positive, you know where positive starts is in elementary school. Kindergarten, grade 1s. I could walk into any grade 1 classroom on the planet and ask who's going to be the next prime minister. They all put up their hands. Who's the best looking? All the hands go up. And they genuinely believe it. This you know, right? So I remember grade 1. Grade 1 was awesome for me. And I remember everything I took home. My mom put in the fridge. She was so proud of me. She told me that every day. And I believed it, right? And then one day I remember I was coloring. It's not that funny. I was coloring and I had a red barn and a blue sky and green grass, and I was feeling pretty legit. Like, I was using all 8 of my crayons. It's a 70s child, no judgment out here, please. And I was feeling pretty good. And then I looked over and my friend Janine, and I'm like, holy smokes. And she's like, what? I'm like, what color is your sky? And she's like, magenta. And I look at my little 8-pack of crayons and I'm like, okay. And I look over at her and she has the 64-pack of crayons with pencil sharpener. And it was really like, I seriously categorized that as a moment of my life where it's like, wow, someone's better than me. Like, my mom lied. Right? Like, what's happening? And so that voice shifted in my head, right? That yes voice started to dwindle. And I think for most of us it's true. As I went through middle school, high school, right? You start to become this person that other people kind of guide you to, like the things that you're good at and the things you don't get feedback about. That's kind of the direction that you go. And so I don't think that I had a necessarily abnormal childhood, but I also don't think I necessarily had a real happy one either, because I felt like all these things inside me I wasn't allowed to do or wasn't able to do. And so then I went into education to become an educator and become a teacher, and I was like, well, this is where I'm going to change things. I'm going to be the person who, you know, in my class, you can be awesome, you can be yourself, and it was really an incredible opportunity because I felt so validated. And I did that for 25 years. I'm still a classroom teacher, I love it every single day, but in the past couple of years it's been interesting because where am I in that? I'm an amazing teacher, and people tell me that, kids tell me that, and I feel that, like I'm on when I'm in front of kids, but then the amazingness isn't always there in other aspects of my life. So what do I need to do to keep that? And I think I've heard other speakers tonight talking about like getting to that place in your life where you're just stuck. Right? It's the same thing, it's the same story. You've written your story, you've crafted your story, you've perfected your story. It's good. And then all of a sudden, what else? What else is there? And I didn't know what that was. And every self-help book, and every speaker, and every person that you go to is always talking about like, just keep moving and checking and finding your next path, right? It's out there, just don't stand still. So I did that, and I was so frustrated because I just wasn't finding it, right? And I would talk, and I would cry, and I'd be frustrated. But in amongst that, I was still teaching and doing all of that, so I was filling my cup in that way, but I knew there was more. And so all of a sudden one day, I called a friend that I hadn't seen in about 15 years. We used to work together. I remember sitting having sushi with him one night and just having this amazing, profound conversation. I'm like, I'm gonna call Kevin. Right, I'm gonna call Kevin. And I literally picked up the phone and talked to him for about an hour and a half, and the energy, just feeling the energy shift between us, just kind of like elevated things up. At the same weekend, I watched the movie The Greatest Showman. Has everyone seen The Greatest Showman? If you have not seen The Greatest Showman, watch it. It is incredible. And there's a moment in there where Keala Settle sings the song, This Is Me. And if you haven't seen it, watch the movie. And if you, after that, watch the clip of her where she's singing it raw for the first time to get the movie greenlit. Like, I just got goosebumps again. Like, that's my song now, sorry, Beyonce. But that's my song now. Like, I listened to it today because I was a little bit nervous about coming here. And it's like, this is me, this is who I'm gonna be. So those two things happened at the same time. And it just kind of was like this catalyst, like there is more in me, I can be more, I'm good enough as myself, I don't have to be a teacher to do these things. So then, feeling that inflation, so out of that I had an opportunity to speak, and I was speaking at a conference of about 500 people, and just before I went up, the woman who was supposed to introduce me is a colleague of mine, and another colleague of ours came up and she said, "Oh, I'm introducing you tonight, Pam can't make it," and I said, "Well, where's Pam?" And she'd go, "Oh, don't you know?" And I'm like, "No." And she said, "Well, she's..." And then the other lady there, she like cut her off. She said, "You can't tell him he's going on the stage right now." Oh, right. So don't tell me anything and let me go up there, right? So she told me, and so my friend Pam, bless her heart, she's struggling with breast cancer, and that information was given to me like minutes before I walked on the stage, and it absolutely shifted me because it helped me realize like, the words that I say are real. Like what the messages that you say are real, and I just came from this really authentic place. And I've been speaking my whole life, and words are important, and I'm very good with words. But coming from a really authentic place was new for me, and I did that. And just the reaction, feeling the energy that I was getting back from those people. And I laughed because I went home and I was telling my family, like, I went into DeLuca's, and I go to DeLuca's all the time, and I'm not Italian, so it doesn't always work for me in there, but I walked into DeLuca's and like, I felt like people were just looking at me and checking out. I'm like, did I forget to put my pants on today? Like, but I swear, like, this energy was coming out of me because I had just been in this place where everyone was just filled with love, as Coralie talked about, and this energy and this shared energy, and I'm like, holy smokes, like, this is what our world needs to fill with, right? Like, imagine if our interactions every day we're based on that and how people, and that's a choice, right? Like you can come from that place every single time. And it's hard, right? And
I'm gonna turn this off for a second because I think sometimes it's really hard to be authentic when you're speaking with a microphone. And the bulk of my life, I didn't want to have kids because I didn't want them to be like me. And then I met this amazing goddess, and I thought, this is a person with whom I could have spectacular children. And we did. We have 2. And that changed the game for me. It was like, I don't want their experience to be mine. I want their experience to be better. I want their lives to be better. I want the people around them to be better. I want the places that they go to be better. I just want it to be better. And that's a heck of a responsibility as a parent. And I know that I have the power to do that. And I know that there are other people in this world, and it's a matter of building communities, coming to places like this, coming from places of love, so that you can build these communities, set down the cell phones, the text messages, the checking the Instagram, the Snapchat, set it down and talk to people and build those relationships and rebuild those communities. Because my kids are gonna be in there and I want them to feel that. And one of the things that I learned with my little 8-pack of crayons is it doesn't matter how many crayons you have, it's about the pictures that you draw. And my life has been very blessed, and I want my kids to be even better. And in honor of Kiala Settle, this is me.